All right, shaking hand emoji is back because the squad is riding together on the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers on the money line against the Atlanta Falcons. We've seen a line flip in this one already as the Falcons were favored at home by a point, but the line has shifted to the Steelers, now 1-point favorites. Jenks and I both look to take the slightly more conservative approach, just laying a $1.15 on the money line for the Steelers here. I think this is squarely a great spot for Kenny Pickett to have a good game against one of the worst secondaries in the entire NFL. They don't bring a ton of pressure either. So if there's ever a time for Kenny Pickett to prove that he is improving, this is the spot. And plus, the Steelers defense has been a completely different defense with the addition of TJ Watt. So I think the better team is the Steelers. And plus, the Falcons just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 after starting the season as one of the best cover teams in all the NFL. 2 teams going in different directions. I think the Steelers train is the one that I am aboard. Jenks, you like the Steelers too, right?
I love the Steelers here. Shaking hand emoji is right, Chelsea. If you look at the Falcons defense, this will allow Kenny Pickett to have a good game and allow him to develop as an NFL quarterback. The Falcons are dead last in the NFL when it comes to rushing the passer. They are dead last in the NFL in their secondary, so you can throw on the Falcons. So if Kenny Pickett needs to throw the ball, he's going to be able to do that. That Steelers defense has completely come alive since TJ Watt rejoined them. I don't trust Marcus Mariota, and if you're talking about head coaches, it doesn't get better than Mike Tomlin. He will have his guys ready even on a short week. I love the Steelers on the money line here at Chelsea. No question about it. It is an early start at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and a squad play, 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday afternoon.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right. Well, if Steelers Falcons doesn't get your blood rushing this morning, how about Jags Lions? Because I'm going with the Jaguars, laying the point here. Another game in which the line has flipped. The Lions were home favorites in this one. Now it's the Jags laying a point. And here's the thing about the Jaguars. They have been a pretty solid team all season long, at least according to the metrics, but they peed down their leg in the fourth quarter. But guess what? The Jags finally figured it out in the last couple minutes of these games. We saw it last week with that thrilling win over the Ravens, winning 28-27. So now the Jags have figured it out in the fourth quarter. They've won 2 of their last 3. And also, Trevor Lawrence has really turned it on over his last 3 games. In his last 3 games, a 77% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of close to 115. So I'm going to go with the Jags here. I think they're the better team. I think they figured it out in the fourth quarter. And Trevor Lawrence, chef's kiss, has been amazing. So let's go Jags.
I am actually on the other side here. I love Trevor Lawrence. I feel so bad for Trevor Lawrence because he just had a wasted year in the NFL. It's a damn shame that Urban Meyer was his head coach. It was a damn shame for that entire organization because he's a bad human. He's a terrible NFL head coach. I don't like listening to him. I don't like watching him. But whatever. The Jags under Doug Peterson are now showing progress, and Trevor Lawrence got his biggest win ever last week. But because of all that excitement surrounding him and that win and going for 2 against the Ravens, I just feel like we're a little too hot on Jacksonville, which is 1-7 in its last 8 games against the number on the road. I still think the Lions are the right side here, so I'm on the Lions +1. I'm not going to bet it. Good luck to you, Chelsea. I think this is Detroit's game to win. It is kickoff, 1 o'clock in the East from the Motor City on Sunday.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right, maybe you don't like my Lions pick because I'm opposite of the Jags, which is your pick, but you're going to like this one, Chelsea. Titans +4.5 at the Eagles. This line opened Eagles laying 5.5 points, immediately bet down to 4.5, and for good reason. If you want to make an argument that the Eagles are arguably the best team in football, that's fine, but they're a little overvalued here because of that incredible start. And no one is paying attention to the Titans, who are 16-6 against the number as an underdog of 3 points or more under Mike Vrabel. Also, C.J. Gardner-Johnson out of this game. That is a huge loss for the Philly secondary. He led the NFL in interceptions. That could maybe open things up for Ryan Tannehill. And also, the one way you could attack that Eagles defense is to run. Oh, well, who did the Titans? Do they have anyone at running back? Did the Titans have anyone they can hand the ball to? Yeah, Derrick Henry might just be able to run the ball on the Eagles. They will keep this close, though. The Titans have not lost a single game they've lost one game this season. One by more than 5 points. I love the Titans getting the points here. Tennessee plus 4.5 in Philly.
Yeah, I really like this one. Obviously, it's my Titans. And bottom line, the Titans have been great as underdogs. Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the Titans, 21-7 against the spread when getting at least 3 points. So even if the Titans don't win, we've seen them before. They can keep it close with the best teams in the NFL. They did it with the Chiefs, even with Malik Willis completing, 5 passes? So I think this is a good spot for a Titans team to at least keep it close with the Eagles. It's a great spot. This is always when the Titans do their best against the best teams in the NFL when nobody is looking for them to be good. If you want to watch that one, I'll be watching it. It's 1 Eastern at the link.
Pick six.
All right, let's head to Chicago where the Bears are hosting the Packers. The Packers laying 3.5. This line is kind of waffled all week long because of the injury concerns. Justin Fields is back at practice, but honestly, I don't think it matters. I think that this Bears team is still dealing with a ton of injuries. Eddie Jackson, their best defender, who was still left over after the Bears traded away their other best defenders, left in the second quarter of last game. Also, Darnell Mooney is banged up, their best receiver. So who does Justin Fields have? And plus, I think it's a matter of Aaron Rodgers getting a really good spot here, going against a really terrible Bears defense. If there's ever a get-right spot for Aaron Rodgers, it's against the Bears. The Bears have been the little brother to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers for quite some time now. I think this is a point of pride for Aaron Rodgers because all the talk now is, Aaron Rodgers might sit on the bench and let Jordan Love get his turn and get his reps. I don't think so. Aaron Rodgers says he's fine with it. I don't believe him. I think this is a point of pride. I think Aaron Rodgers has a good game here. So let's go Packers laying the 3.5.
I'm with you. There's no way I'm trusting the Bears, even if they have Justin Fields, but particularly if they don't have Justin Fields. And I don't know if there's such thing as a get-right spot for the Packers because they're such a bad football team this year, but I think this is a low number. And as you mentioned, Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. He always plays well in the Windy City or even in Lambeau Field, so I'm with you. Let's lay it with the Packers. Kickoff, Packers and Bears set for 1 o'clock Eastern from the Windy City on Sunday.
Pick six.
Oh, my God. Broncos, Ravens. Total set at 39 and a hook. You got to go under here. Broncos are an absolute mess right now. Russ can't cook. He can't throw. No one's coming to his parties. I saw a TikTok yesterday, Chelsea. It was really funny. And I don't know why it popped up on my feed, but some guy was analyzing. He was saying, I notice little things. And he was showing the first game of the season, I think it was, first or second game of the season, where Russ went back to Seattle and they lost that game. And he was analyzing after the game where Russell Wilson, in the post-game handshake, he walked up to Pete Carroll, quick hug. He found Geno Smith. They talked. And then Russ is looking around. He played for Seattle. He became a potential Hall of Famer as a Seattle Seahawk. These are all of his former teammates. And after the game, he's looking around for someone to talk to, and nobody's around him. Nobody wants to talk to Russ at all. So he's at the place where he made a name for himself, where he won a Super Bowl. And everyone's just like, I don't want to talk to that guy. It was really, really interesting. That sort of effect is right now happening with the Broncos. It's fine when you're winning, but when you're losing, man, things go downhill in a hurry. That's what's happening to the Broncos. That Broncos offense struggled against the Panthers last week. You can just forget about them moving the football against the Ravens. Not only that, Denver is the best under team in all of pro football. 9-1 to the under this season. The Ravens aren't a ton better. 7-4 to the under as well. Let's make some money and buy one of Russ's Subway sandwiches to make it feel better. Broncos, Ravens, under 39 and a hook.
It's wild to me how steep of a turn that Russell Wilson has taken in the image of like the public court of opinion. Because it's not just the fact that he's losing games. People like genuinely hate him, which is wild for me to even fathom because he was such a popular guy. When I went to school with him at NC State, everybody always like admired his like dedication and the fact that he's so respectful. I honestly think that like the personality that he's putting out there is kind of it. It just seems like he's putting off an air of fakeness. Doesn't that seem like that's the case? And people don't like it when you're being fake. So if you're a PR person, how do you rehab his image at this point?
Well, that's a good question because maybe he is that person. That's the weird thing is that I kind of feel like this is who Russ is. There's certainly a situation where, okay, you're trying too hard, just be yourself, quit trying to be this perfectly molded person in public. But I kind of think that's who Russell Wilson is. The only solution for Russ is to win football games. This is who Russell Wilson is. So the only way that people are going to come around to liking him or loving him is if he wins, because he's not going to be a lovable loser. He's already proven that is not the case at all. His own teammates don't like him.
I think that, and just be more real. Like maybe at one press conference say, hey, look, I am struggling. I get it. And stop saying Broncos country, let's ride. For the love of God, just be real. Let yourself show some emotion. Because that's the thing. When his teammates are screaming at him, he's not even screaming back. For once, I would wish we would just see some real, raw emotion from Russell Wilson. That's what I'm hoping.